David Sable from Stagwell Global coming to you from our space at CES 2024. And I'm so excited to be talking today to Laurie, who is the Vice President of Emerging Media and Technology at the Ad Council. Now, friends, the Ad Council, just full disclosure, I'm a past chairman or chairperson of the Ad Council. It is one of my favorite things in the world in our industry. And it is a place, I'm not going to ask you specifically, but I'll just give me a half a second just because I have to give a little bit of the commercial. The Ad Council is the one place in the industry where advertising, media, data, technology, people, insight, companies, brands, agencies, everybody comes together for the better good of humanity. And quite frankly, I don't think there's anything like it in any other industry in the world. Am I right?
I mean, I think you're right. I don't know of one that exists.
So what brought you to the Ad Council?
Thank you for that intro and thank you for having me. Great question. I've been at the Ad Council for 14 years, so it's been a long and storied career. But before the Ad Council, I worked at big media agencies. I was working on the Carl's Jr. Hardee's account at Initiative. Before that, Ford Automotive at Mindshare, and then Applebee's at Starcom MediaVest Group. And so I wanted to work in media my whole life. I thought I would go into advertising sales, but when I was working on the Carl's Jr. account, really building strategies to get men 18 to 49 to eat more fast food hamburgers, I had a moment where I was like, this is not...
Which is in and of itself a great accomplishment.
Yes. And it was during the, putting Paris Hilton on a pickup truck era. I don't know if you remember those ads.
Save the world.
Yes. So not exactly saving the world. But I had a pivotal moment where I was like, how do I use my passion for advertising and really kind of strategic insights and put that towards social good? And it was kind of a light bulb moment. And it's a long story I won't go into, but I saw an Ad Council billboard. I guessed. I emailed Charlie Ruttman, if you remember him.
Of course.
I guessed on his email address. It was right. I asked if they could give me an informational interview, and kind of the rest was history. I was able to get into the company.
Well, we're glad you're there. Speaking from personal history, I know I'm glad you're there. I'm happy, and we all benefit.
Thank you.
But just so you all remember, for those of you who know, it's a remembrance. Those who don't know, it's important. But the iconic images that the Ad Council has created over the years are clearly among some of the most important images ever created for marketing, like Smokey the Bear.
Yes, Smokey Bear. Probably, I think it's the longest running ad campaign in history and still a very enduring icon.
And still
today.
Powerful, it still talks to people.
Yes, and he's evolved over the years. Some people might call him attractive at this point.
So let's talk about CES, let's talk about the Ad Council.
Yes.
The Ad Council, you know what you do, you take an important cause, we bring the cause together with funders, with brands, everybody, we put it all together and we get it out into the world to try to influence people.
Yes.
What is interesting at CES for you? How is the Ad Council going to use what we see here on the floor for social good?
Yeah, so I mentioned I've been with the company 14 years. I stepped into my current role, which is overseeing emerging media and technology, about a year and a half ago. And my role and our team is to really look to these new emerging technologies. Our focus verticals are artificial intelligence, no surprise there, immersive technology, how to connect people to causes in immersive spaces, Web3 and blockchain, how to reach people in these spaces while nascent.
So stop right there. Let's take immersive technologies. Give us an example.
So immersive technologies, obviously when you think about a social cause, being able to experience that firsthand is very moving and impactful versus just watching it on a 2D linear, an ad on TV. So for example, with Meta this past year, we worked with FEMA on a immersive experience where you were in a burning apartment building for 4 minutes. You had 4 minutes to escape or else you were going to burn. And throughout the experience,
Which is not a good thing.
No. And it's immersive, so not real, but you do feel your heart rate go up because you're not wanting to, you want to escape.
So what platform was that on? What did you?
So what's great about it, and I think what we're really interested in, is not only was it available on the Quest headsets as a virtual reality experience, but it was available through web XR, which is the ability to experience an immersive world through your smartphone. So you can do this by scanning a QR code, you can do this by just going to a link, and if you have a smartphone, you're able to experience that right from your smartphone or from your desktop. So that made it very accessible to more than just people that have a Quest headset. And we're hoping to start demoing that as on trade show floors and things like this through our partnership with Meta.
So we know that many of the brands and many of the agencies experiment in places like Roblox or in the metaverse or wherever, and we'll talk about some of the things here. What kinds of things have you sort of pushed that are at the edge that you're sort of trying out, you want to see? And
yeah, so Roblox is very interesting to us. We're starting to forge a relationship with them. I think the stats are right now, 66 million users spending 2.3 hours a day. That's a long time. That's a lot of opportunity for a nonprofit like the Ad Council. And so for us, what we see is, I think obviously low end, we're starting to run video ads. They just released video ads this past quarter, so we're one of their kind of beta advertisers. But I think really the real vision for us is to create a standalone immersive experience in a Roblox or other worlds like that, where someone can come experience our issue in an immersive way. You talk about AI, these like NPC characters, you could really interact with a character that could be driven by data that we power into it. Being able to basically take our website and make it into an immersive experience, have it be gamified. So we've done some experimentation with Decentraland, which is a Web3 platform, but I think doing it in a Roblox is really going to allow us to exponentially reach people.
so let's talk about AI.
Yeah.
And again, I keep pointing behind us because
It's here, we're
there's
here.
the flow. We're right, by the way, this
Yes.
is one of the main entrances. Everything inside has AI. I said
Yes.
before that even if you go buy a cup of coffee, the coffee vendor has
Yeah,
AI.
it's everywhere.
Like
It's
everywhere. Everybody's changing the name. It was like in the old days, everybody did E and then an I. Everybody is putting AI.
Yes.
And by the way, I would just say, folks, if you see anybody change the name, that's the company that won't be here in 6 months, just saying. But how are we going to use AI so I'm not interested so much in we can do avatars and we can do, we can do deep fakes and we can do yada, 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 because everybody's going that way. That's sort of obvious.
Yeah.
How does the Ad Council look? What's your vision for AI?
Yeah. So I am leading an internal AI task force in partnership with our legal team. So
Very important.
obviously AI has amazing benefit, for productivity purposes to, drive more impact for our campaigns, but we need to also look at it, with a lens of care. We want to make sure that any outputs that come out of it, we are looking at it from a copyright infringement standpoint, from bias, content. It's being able to really reach our audiences in ways that we haven't been able to do before. So you have a lot of data at a nonprofit, whether that's research studies, quantitative, studies that you have from your target audiences, basically all of the information that currently lives on your website, being able to create your own GPT. So when someone lands on your site, they can say, this is exactly what I need, and the data that we have would give them exactly what they need, so it would be tailored exactly to them. Versus the experience now, which is you see an ad, you go to a website, you navigate the website, you're trying to find what you need. I think we have the opportunity as nonprofit marketers to take that data and create an AI experience around that as people are getting more familiar with this technology.
So let's look at this year. One of our absolute most important tentpole issues. So it's always, in the past, it's always been, and it will still continue.
Yes.
Gun safety is very important to us. Hate is very important to us. All of, basically, there's no anti-smoking, all these things are critical. But this year, mental health.
Yes.
Very important.
Yes. Crisis. Yes.
What are we going to do? What can we expect from emerging media and technology?
Yeah. So you hit it right on. We are in a mental health crisis. It's been intensified the last couple of years due to COVID-19, the barrage of tragic news that seems to be hitting our news feeds every day, the economic distress. We know through an Ad Council study that half of Americans report having a mental health condition, but only 42% of them are getting the help that they need. So we knew at the Ad Council that this requires a massive campaign on multiple efforts. So we have 4 campaigns under the docket: youth suicide prevention, middle school mental health, adult targeted campaign called Love Your Mind that just launched this fall, and then a veterans mental health campaign. And the reason why we need to have multiple efforts is because these target audiences are dealing with mental health in really unique ways. And so from an emerging media and technology standpoint, what we're really excited about is being able to reach these people where they're consuming media. So I brought the Roblox example up before, but 20 to 24-year-olds, the second leading cause of death is suicide. That is critical. And so to be able to reach a young audience on a Roblox with our campaign messaging, they're probably not going to visit our site. They're spending 2.3 hours a day on Roblox. And so for us to be able to deliver messaging on platforms like that is how we're going to be able to reach these people. And so that's where I see us being able to use the technology in a way. And then also that web AR that I mentioned previously, being able to allow people to interact with the issues through their smartphones is also technologies that we're exploring right now.
We're going to keep our eye on all those things.
Yes.
One last question, Laurie.
Yes.
You just came off the Stagwell floor tour.
Yeah.
Something we're very proud of. Some of our leading technologists from Instrument are taking our clients and friends and others on incredibly well curated, I think, because I've just done 2 of them.
Yes.
And walked them. Incredibly well curated,
It was
very bespoke,
yes.
depending on the audience, tours of the floor. What was the single most interesting, I know it's hard, but
yes.
what was the single most interesting thing that you saw?
I can't remember the company, so that's not a good name, but a good thing. But it was the company that makes water out of thin air.
Genesis.
I don't know what the catch is, because they said that they're carbon neutral or carbon negative, actually. They actually take the oxygen out of the air and make it not a greenhouse gas. And you can create, 100 gallons of water with this thing.
Yeah.
So to me, that just is like, when I see technology that's like a step up, that's
Yeah, we're very excited
changers.
about Genesis. We've been looking at it. We took a whole bunch of people through there this morning.
Yeah.
Because I think, again, to your point, they're amazing, and it's just something
Not
else.
only for to have in your home, if you can afford, that's $19,000, we ask the price, but I think for companies that are trying to be more carbon neutral, this is a great
without
solution.
a doubt. Imagine a fast food chain of restaurants that has places in Phoenix and other places that are water challenged.
Yeah.
And each unit had one of these, and they did 100 gallons.
You're being able to provide water to communities that need it.
It would be absolutely
I'm
amazing.
always into technology that has that social impact angle.
So Laurie, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for being with us. Thank you for sharing. And again, this is David Sable from Stagwell Global, coming to you from CES 2024, right in front of the main entrance, where we're seeing absolutely amazing things, where we're taking our clients and our friends on incredible tours of the technology, having discussions about them, talking about the things that are important, the things that are still going to be here next year and in 10 years, and giving the warnings about the stuff that's going to be gone in 2 weeks. Trust me on that. And we just spoke with Laurie Keith, Vice President, Emerging Media and Technology of the Ad Council. If you don't know the Ad Council, please, I beg you, look them up, look for the little logo. You'll know who they are when you see it, because you'll recognize the advertising. It's important. It's about social good and social change, something we support. Stagwell is on the board of the Ad Council.
Yes.
We're very proud. As I said, I'm a past chairman, and so that gives me sort of an honorary position still in, and something that I take very, very seriously and very carefully. So, Laurie,
we appreciate you.
Thank you so much,
and
thanks everyone for listening.